How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today we're talking about 6 different high risk, high reward stocks, and they're all different shapes and sizes, right? So they're different sectors. Some of them are high growth, some of them are penny stocks, one of them is actually a dividend paying stock. And we're going to go over all 6 of them, and of course they all offer different amounts of risk and reward, but I think all of them are in some way or shape a little bit speculative and can really pay off in the long run if they are actually going to do what they want to do and the companies actually get to where they want to get to. So before we start, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, that means a lot. We're on the road to 15,000 subscribers, so please hit the subscribe button right down there. Also, the one other thing that I ask is if you are thinking about starting investing, please use the links down there. There's actually just a few days left. September 30th is the last day where if you deposit $100 on WeBull, you get 2 free stocks, and they are taking that away and going back to the 1 free stock. So if you are thinking about getting that, I would definitely do it now because you only have a little bit of time left. Or you can use M1 Finance, which is my favorite broker. That's my favorite app. That's where I hold the majority of my money. So definitely check those out below. So let's get into it. Workhorse is the first stock, and they are a company that, if you've watched my channel, you probably have seen them. They are trying to get the USPS contract. They do final mile delivery vehicles, and they're all electric. So they are trying to get a $6.3 to $8 billion contract. There's been some difference of opinions on how big the contract is. Some people are saying $20 billion, but they're trying to get a major part of this contract. And as you can see here, they've gone up a lot this year since they've started to try to get this contract. The reason that I think it's high risk, high reward is the fact that they are trying to get this massive contract. If they don't get it, I think they're going to go down to maybe $10 to $12 a share, but if they get it, I could see them doubling, maybe even tripling, depending on how much of the contract they get. And if they're able to turn that revenue and start getting into other lines of business, they have a drone that they integrate into their trucks. They're trying to get into the refrigeration market. So if they're able to capitalize on that and move it into other lines of business, I think that's going to be huge. It's also gone up from about a $1.50 stock all the way up to $25 a share. So there is some room for it to go down if people start to get scared about the stock or don't like the long-term prospects. The second stock is actually a group of stocks. So I'm going to include a lot of the other EV stocks in this group. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because they're up so much on the year. I'm talking about Hyliion, or Torus Acquisition, PIC, which is trying to get XL Fleets, NIO, which is a company over in China. The reason I'm including all these together is there are just a lot of them, and a lot of people are talking about the EV bubble, so all these different stocks that are really going up in value a lot, and they're still not really producing a lot of revenue, a lot of earnings. And this is something that is a little bit worrisome. If you think about how many different vehicle makers there are that are billion-dollar companies, all the traditional companies will start to get more into EV. And there's going to be this massive battle, I think, between those manufacturers that have all these different distribution channels and manufacturing and media, and they have a lot of coverage on them. They're going to be able to capitalize once they have the technology, while these companies have the technology and are trying to build up everything else. I think there's going to be a big power struggle. And I'm just going to group all these together because there are a lot. There are more than just the ones I talked about here. But that is a high reward, high risk play where if one of these companies actually breaks through and can become one of the largest auto manufacturers in the world, they're going to have a lot of upside potential. Now, another stock is Space Stock, or Virgin Galactic. So they're number 3. They're trying to commercialize space flight. So they are trying to bring people into outer space. Now, there has been a lot of coverage on YouTube of this company. It is an interesting company. It's an interesting project that they're working on. If they're able to actually do this and to, do it efficiently, I think they're going to make tons of money. I think there are tons of people that are willing to pay what they're asking for. They're going to have $250,000 ticket prices. I think there are going to be a ton of people that will pay that. And I think it'll be a very interesting opportunity if you buy into the stock and they are actually able to get, multiple ships running up there and coming back. I think that'll be a very interesting company to buy into. But if they aren't going to be able to do that, then it's essentially a $3.5 or $4 billion market cap that really can't do much. So number 4 is pretty interesting. It's Planet 13 Holdings. This is a company that I own. They are the largest dispensary in the world with over 112,000 square feet. They are operating a business mostly out of Las Vegas. They're trying to expand into other states in the coming years. They're trying to get to 5 to 10 locations. I do hold a position. I think I'm right around cost basis now, and I've been buying more since they were about $1.50 a share. And as you can see here, it's gone up a lot, and then it's come down a little bit recently. It was over $4. Now it's down about 33%. But if they're able to expand to 5 to 10 locations, grow their revenue, grow their net income, and really turn into a cash churning machine, because they'll basically be able to control that high-end market, because this is an experience, right? So this is something that you go in, if you like the product names that they have, if you like the experience, they will have customers that will pay whatever they want, essentially, to be able to use their products and to go experience in person what they have to offer. So this is the fourth stock on the list. CCL is a fifth stock. They are a company that is just about $15 a share right now. If you don't know what CCL is, they're Carnival Cruise Lines. They were up around $50, $51 a share earlier this year. They are a company that is very cyclical and also is being hit hard by the virus. So they are still down 70% on the year, over 70%. If we get a vaccine, or if they can start doing business a little bit heavier, I think this is a stock that could easily double in the next year or two. The question is, though, will we have the pandemic continue? Will we continue to have issues with this company being able to carry out normal business activities? If they continue to have these issues, it's going to be very hard to make me want to invest in them. It's very high risk, high reward. If there is a vaccine, or if something changes, easily it could go up, but it could also continue to go down slowly if we continue to see these issues with the pandemic. Now, if we don't have anything over the next couple of years that makes this better, and we continue to be kind of in the state of lockdown, I could definitely see this and many other companies going bankrupt. Years of no cash flow is very difficult, so I could definitely see this company going bankrupt or doing some kind of restructuring. So the sixth and final company is the dividend stock. So CCL also had a dividend, but NRZ is the last stock on here. This is a company that I actually owned. It's a mortgage REIT. And honestly, the reason I think this is high risk, high reward is, first of all, it is a mortgage REIT. So they are pretty cyclical. They are pretty high risk. They pay massive dividends. So we saw a massive dip when the pandemic happened. And I bought in once it had dipped a lot. I actually bought right near the bottom, and they're still down about 55% on the year, but they also had to cut their dividend massively. So they had a $2 a share dividend before the pandemic. Now they brought it up to 10 cents last quarter. They just announced a few days ago that they're bringing it up to 15 cents a quarter. So they went from $2 a share. Now they're looking at maybe 60 cents for the forward year. They'll probably continue to bump it up, but this is a massive decrease in dividends, but it still has a nice dividend yield right around 7%. So this is one of those high risk, high reward plays where if you can buy into it and it continues to be able to grow their book again, they had to sell part of it, deleverage. If they continue to grow, they may pay you some massive dividends into the future. Even if they only get up to half the dividends that they had before, that would still give you a dividend yield or a forward yield of about 12.5% where the stock price is now. So those are the 6 stocks. I hope you guys like that. Workhorse, Shell, EV stocks, NIO, PIC, Space Stock, Planet 13, CCL, and NRZ. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What kind of stocks are you looking at that are high risk, high reward? I know that personally, I'm not a very risky investor. I have maybe 10% of my portfolio in these riskier stocks. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for hitting the like button. I also want to say too, there is a link down there to my Patreon. If you want to join that, we have about 14 members now, and I just opened up a new tier. So there is the highest tier in there. I'm doing exclusive live streams twice a month in there. So the reason for this is just because I really like live streams. But when we have 100 or 300 people on, it's really hard to get into depth into questions. So what I'm doing is opening up this new tier. So if there's one person, only one person that signs up, I'm still going to do the live stream, and then it's going to be essentially just a one-on-one. If there are 2 people in there, then it's 2 people I'm going to be talking to. We might put a cap on it so that way it serves its purpose and doesn't get too big. but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So definitely check that out if you're interested in that. If you want some more one-on-one or be part of a small group there where I can talk to you every couple weeks in person, let me know. Use the comments below. Ask me any questions on that. But otherwise, you can feel free to join that Patreon. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.